Hey everybody, I'm Matt Iovanni, partner at FullFunnel, and I want to show you how you can build a reporting agent using Clay.com and a few other tool sets, things like Claude, ChatGPT, N8N, so on and so forth. So first and foremost, I always start here because it's like a really important distinction to understand, like, what is an agent? When I started working with ChatGPT when they first came out, I was pretty much using it as just like a foundational AI model. So I was asking it things and I was getting answers, right? Then I started to do what essentially is level one, which is passive AI. An LLM executes a predefined task within a tightly bounded context. This is kind of how you lever agents inside of a Clay table. Then we started coming up with what was effectively workflow automation. So this is where, like, we're actually orchestrating different agents firing to produce a outcome of some sort. And now where we are now is we're creating level 3 agents, autonomous agentic systems. And today I'm going to focus on reporting as the core thing that we're trying to accomplish. So first off, I think everyone understands that Clay tables, if built properly, can house an incredible amount of information. Right? At the end of this table, I have all of the different NASDAQ companies in the universe. I have them all summarized in terms of what they're looking for, how they're looking for it, etc. What's great about these is that you can use a Clay table as what is effectively a transformation table, right? I bring lots of information from my CRM, my marketing automation platforms, my customer success platforms. I bring it into a Clay table. I transform it using a whole bunch of different agentic workflow processes. And now I have this massive CSV file that I can now take and move through a process, right? So one of the things that we like doing here is we like going and doing what is effectively these large analytical outputs. So we'll take a Clay table like this, we'll run it through a variety of agents and workflows, and we'll create things like this, right? An ICP analysis, right? I can take every closed won, closed lost customer for an organization, put them in a Clay table, run a ton of different agentic workflows against them, answering different questions about the composition of the company, the industry, what tech they're using, like all of these different attributes. And then what I can effectively do is reverse engineer the type of ICP profile that we do the best with. And then I can essentially push this out into, and here I'm using a tool called Gamma to produce what is effectively an output, giving you a sense of who you should be focused on and why, right? You can do the same thing with things like conversational intelligence. So in the event that you wanted to take, let's say you're a Gong user, you want to take all 50,000 of your Gong calls and you want to analyze them and then mash them up with CRM data, you can do this inside of this workflow process. Then what you can do is take that table, run it through a variety of agents. You can string them together using tools like Make, N8N, so on and so forth. And then you can build these very robust contextual outputs as it relates to all the different conversations you might be having, the win-loss ratios, different products, like all this really great information. And what's really fun about this is that you can even go so far as to start creating your own agentic work experiences. So as an example here, you can see that this is a app that we have built, an agentic workflow process that takes every single meeting that we have at FullFunnel, pushes them into these tables, runs a variety of agentic workflow process, and then we've actually built an interface to actually take that information and have it be digestible. Everything from the different scorecards, the meetings themselves, the companies, everything that exists, looking at the reps, and we even have our AI tool set embedded inside of that product. So one of the things that is going on right now in the universe is like things like Claude code have come out, is people are like, well, what is Clay supposed to be now? Like, what are we doing with Clay? Now, the reality is like you can use a lot of different tools to create a table, right? You can use literally a spreadsheet. You could use Airtable. You could use a whole variety of platforms like this. I believe that Clay, and I've believed this for 2 years now, Clay is such an interesting product because it's like the Rolls Royce of stable tables. It interoperates with all of the agents. It iterates with every go-to-market tool that we work with today. And because of that, what it's giving us the ability to do is use Clay as the transformation layer inside the data workflow process. And if you understand that ETL, means extract, transfer, and load, I think of ETL now as extract, bring from a source, transform, agentic workflow process, and then load into a workflow where there's likely a variety of different agents doing a variety of different things. And so we believe that the future isn't buying things like linear SaaS software. We believe the future is buying agentic workflow process or agents or applications where a variety of agents are running. And that's how you sort of get to a point where I don't believe that Gong, as an example, will get taken out by a Gong competitor. That's like, a shark eating a lion. I think the lion gets taken out by a million piranhas, which are effectively custom built applications or agents that are built for specific outcomes and that are highly configurable, malleable. And that's how I think the SaaS apocalypse actually does materialize into a death of linear SaaS software as we've known it for the last 20 years. Reporting is such an important aspect of an organization's intelligence layer. And the way that we think about these things at FullFunnel is really, really simple. We believe that when you look at a sales and marketing program and you want to essentially AI enable it, you first really have to understand like who you're going after. So we actually built an ICP intelligence agent. Then we want to make sure that we actually have a good database. So we build a database quality agent. Then we can build intelligence agents. When you get to the analytics and optimization, this is where the reporting agents are really important. And whether you're looking for things like conversational intelligence outputs, or you're looking for information in your ICP, or you just want to have a complete sort of purview of what is going on across your organization, this is an amazing tool set to be able to lever Clay, N8N, tools like Gamma, Claude Code, mash them all together in a standard workflow process and get some really incredible outputs. I'm Matt Iovanni. I'm a partner at FullFunnel. We are essentially at the cutting edge of application of AI tools in go-to-market. And I hope you found this really exciting as I've been geeking out for the last 2 months on this process. Thank you.